Welcome back to the channel, and we're going to be finishing up doing this one. So we've created it using 2D and AutoCAD, and that should be my first drawing that I have located here. And then we also done this using AutoCAD, using the 3D functions of AutoCAD, right? So I've completed both of those using AutoCAD. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at doing this in Inventor. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Okay, so this should be a super quick video. Let's go ahead and start off by selecting what units we're going to do. So I'm just going to hit the new icon here. We're going to assume that this drawing is in millimeters. So I'm going to make sure I'm on the English US metric, and then I'm going to go to standard millimeters IPT. So I'll go ahead and double click on that, or I can single click and hit the word create and give it a second. Now I want to thank you for the ones that are coming back in, and if this is your first time coming and seeing my videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. As you can see, I try to capture doing this in AutoCAD and in Inventor to give you a first-hand look at both, and you'll see the benefits of doing it in each one of these programs. You know, AutoCAD has been around for forever, and I like to think of it as the gateway program. Doing AutoCAD 3D, it's really good if you're going to use a program like CADWorks or something along that line, but it also helps set you up with the basic principles of understanding how to do any kind of solid modeling. And here in Inventor, that's what it's always about, is doing solid modeling, right? So, and this should be loaded here in a second, but solid modeling is one of those key things that you're probably going to have to learn to pick up no matter which program or which way your career is going, some kind of 3D aspect, because that's kind of the way the world is going, especially with most of these drafting programs. Alright, so I'm just going to start off by creating a sketch, and I'm going to select this icon here. I'm going to select this bottom face, which is the XZ plane. Give it a second. It's going to rotate. For some strange reason, depending on where you select on that plane, it will rotate this word top to a different orientation. I'm just going to spin it around here just by using that handle. Let's go ahead and put a few circles on here. So I'm just going to draw a circle here. Go ahead and place a circle here. And one more here. Okay. Now I'm going to use some shortcuts in this one, meaning that I'm not going to necessarily dimension every single thing. I'm going to try to use some constraints as best as I can. So we know that the overall diameter here is sitting at 150. So when I go to place my dimension, I'll go here, place it here, and type in 150. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is let's go ahead and take a look at this one. And this one has a diameter of 80. Now, if you know for sure that each one of these sides are going to be exactly the same, and in our case we do know that, I'm just going to use the equal function, which is located here. So I'll go to equal, select this circle, and this circle. Now they're equal to the same size. Okay, let's go ahead and put some distance between here. So I'll go to distance, place a distance between here. That's 150. Likewise here on the other side, that's going to be 150. All right, now it's still not complete, and I'm just going to escape out of the diameter or dimensioning command here because I can move these up and down, right? And so for me to be able to stop it from doing this, I need to give it a little bit more, right? So what I'm going to do to that is I'm going to tell it that I want it, ideally this should be horizontal. So I'm going to try that first. I'll select horizontal. When I move my cursor down, you should see I got a dotted line that's going horizontally across my screen here. That allows me to select that point, and then this center point here, that center point here, and then that point. Okay? Now everything is fully constrained. Now we have these arcs that are sitting here. This is one of the benefits of AutoCAD. Let me go ahead and move this down, that I do like, that does not have here in Inventor. Right? So I would love to be able to go, hey, I want to put a fillet here. So can I use the fillet command and then tell it that I have a radius of 100 and then select here and here, right? You can see that it won't even let me select these circles. So we have to create these the old way. We have to draw a circle here, and it has a radius of 100. So I'm just going to create 4 circles here. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set them all equal to each other. Okay. Then I'm going to start by adding some constraints to it. I'm going to use this tangent constraint, so I'll select here and here, here and here, and I'll do the same, kind of working my way around. All right, and I have just one more to complete. Okay, finally, I can use my trim, so just a T. I'm sorry, this is it's X actually in this command. So I can use the X, and that'll put me into the trim mode, or select the icon that is located here. And then the last thing I need to do is go ahead and put a radius on here. So I'll go to my dimension, select here, and this has a radius of 100. All right, so all of these should appear and look correct. Let's do one more trim here. So when I trim, I'm hoping that it does not lose that connection between both of these arcs, and you can see that's exactly what happened. So that's one of the things I was kind of afraid of. Let's go ahead and put a dimension back on here, and remember that it wants to assume that you want a radius dimension. 75 happens to be half of our 150. I can leave it setting at the 75, and then I'm just going to equal this one to this one, right? And it seems that once I broke that, it also broke all of these equals between here. So let's go ahead and put that equal back. Just going to put an equal to these. Oh, seems like it's already there. Okay. So it must be missing its tangent then. That'll be the next thing I'll try. So I'll go to my tangent, select here and here, and just kind of finish my tangents going around here. Okay. And then if I want to, I can go ahead and add my last little trim here, or I can leave it off. But a lot of times when I do my sketches, I like to do it where it automatically picks one profile. So I'll just go ahead and trim that off as well. Okay. If we look down here at the bottom right, you can see that it says fully constrained. Let's go ahead and finish this sketch. Let's zoom out a little bit. I'll hit the extrude command, and then I'll give it a height of 20. Okay, go ahead and hit OK. Next, I want to decide where I'm going to place these next circles at, right? I can either do it on the top or on the bottom, and that all depends on how you want to do your calculation. So I brought this up when we was doing AutoCAD 3D, is that if I want to start my cylinder here from the bottom and go up, then I can use the numbers that are directly on the drawing. If not, I'll have to do the math of it and subtract 20 from whatever number those are. So I'll just do the subtraction on this one. In the AutoCAD video, I did put it at the bottom here and extrude up, but it'll be the exact same steps and principles. Go ahead and select this top face, and then go ahead and select this icon here, which says Create Sketch. It's the one with the green plus. Let me go ahead and rotate this back. Next, I want to go ahead and place a couple of circles on here, right? So I want a circle here and a circle here. All right. So what I'm going to do in order to get these profiles in, because right now I don't have a center, I can come to a circle, and then when I come over here, this edge, it's going to pop up the center then, and I can go ahead and select here and then go out to here, right? That's one way of doing it. And when I escape, you can see that it didn't actually kind of get to it. Make sure that you either choose a tangent or you can use the equal and select both of these. Either one of those methods will work. All right, that's one way of doing it. Another way you can do it is you can also go to Project Geometry, select the arc, escape, and then from here, you can have your circle. You can see that it already put that in. I'll go from this endpoint, and I'll place it at that one. Okay, let's escape out of this. It's fully constrained. Let's go ahead and hit Finish Sketch. These two circles are going to be extruded, and the overall distance of it is a height of 40. So 40 minus 20 should give me a height of 20. I'll go to Extrude. Right now it's trying to say, hey, which profiles do you want us to extrude? So I'm going to select here and inside of here. All right. I'm going to tell it that it needs to go up a height of 20, which is already done for me. And in the Boolean operations, I have to define what I want it to do. In this case, I want it to join with these, union with them, or any kind of other one of those words that mean exactly the same thing. So go ahead and hit OK. It should automatically create those on there. Let's select his face again. And then we're going to select that, right? Let's go ahead and put our circle that's here on the middle. So we have that circle and it has a diameter of 120. So I'll go to circle. I'll click here. And as I'm giving it its preview, I'll just type in 120. Go ahead and hit finish sketch. Go to the extrude. The overall height is 70, so 70 minus our 20 should be 50. So let's go ahead and make it 50. And we do have our height, our Boolean operation set to join, so it should join with this circle. Okay, now we're going to use the hole command. Or we can use circles to extrude through this, but anytime there are circles, I like to use the hole command. So I'm going to go with selecting this top face here. And the reason why I'm doing this, I can do it individually, and I'm going to do it individually on this one because it's just one hole. But if I have multiple holes of the same size, I go ahead and usually create a sketch. So I'll select that top face, create the sketch there. Go to my project geometry. I want to select this circle here and this one. Okay, so once you have those two projected in, I'm going to use this icon that's called point. And then I'm just going to select each point of that center. So that one here, and then that one. Be careful with this command because as you keep clicking, it will keep creating points. So once you're done selecting those two center points, go ahead and hit the escape button. Go ahead and finish the sketch. And this time I'm going to go to the hole command. And what hole should automatically do is find those two center points for me. And now if we look at the dialog box, we have to tell it what type of circle we want, right? So the geometry is already done. The hole type is going to cut through all, right? It's just a simple hole. We're going through all. It doesn't have a counter sweep or a counter bore, things of that nature. So let me go ahead and make sure I tell it that we're using this type here. And we're going to also define a few more things by me turning off this seat here. Okay. I know it keeps going through these different ones. I'm trying to turn it off actually, so it doesn't show this. Oh. I got to tell it not to show it. There we go. So we have the seat not shown. It's just going to be a simple hole going all the way through, and I need to give it a diameter, right? These two outside diameters are set to 50. So once I do that, you should see that it should preview behind, which it does, and it's going through all. The direction is fine. It's going downward that way. If I wanted it to go the other direction, I can change it by using this, but I'm sending it through all. Go ahead and hit the OK button, and that one is fine, right, for this hole. But for the big hole that's here in the middle, we don't have to create a sketch to that one, although we can. But we can go directly to the hole command on this one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this top face. And then I'm going to select this cylinder, right? This part of this cylinder body. It should automatically put my cylinder in the middle, which it does. And then all I have to do is give it a diameter. In our case, it's going to be 100. It should do it. And once I hit the enter button, it should be created for us. And now you can see that we do indeed have this shape created. All right. So unlike AutoCAD, we have to save this and it's going to create it as two separate files. So I'm just going to do a quick save on this, which is Control S. I'm going to save it as the same part file I've always been using. So I'm just going to leave this as part 1. Go ahead and hit the save button. Yes, I want to replace it. All right, now we have that part that's created on the inside of this one, right? And you can see at the bottom here, it's named as part 1. I'm going to hit the new icon here. We're going to go to a drawing now, so I'm just going to scroll down. Standard millimeter. I'm going to use the millimeter IDW. Go to create. And once again, we're going to give it a second. And if you enjoy this content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button, or even leave me a comment if I'm doing something right or wrong, or maybe I'm going too fast, or you would like to see me do some other stuff, right? But we have this created now. Let's go ahead and adjust our title block, so to say. So we're going to go ahead and delete our title block here, the actual title block in here. So I'm going to delete that part. And then I'm going to change the size of the drawing that I have here. Remember, we do that by right-clicking on our sheet 1. And then we're going to come down to where it says Edit Sheet. Once that is it, we're going to use let's use a B size in this case. So we're going to use a B size and we're going to keep it in our landscape mode. Go ahead and hit OK. And now it adjusts the scale to it. Let's choose base. It should automatically bring in the base that I want. Let's go ahead and move our dialog box. Just going to move this up here. And now I want this to look down at the top view. So what I'm going to do is select this icon here. It's going to flip to the top view. And then I'm just going to kind of stretch this out a little bit, right? So I'm going to stretch it out to the next biggest size. You can see here it's giving me a 1/2 inch. That looks good enough for me. And once I'm done with this, I don't need to create any other views. I'm just going to hit the OK button. And now it's going to create this. All right. If we want to create that isometric, we'll go back to the to base. And once again, it's going to follow you around on your cursor, right? So we're just going to click this icon here. It looks like I might have to do just a hair bit more adjusting. Let's go ahead and hit cancel on this. I forget that it actually showed up in the right orientation. Let me do that one more time. And for some strange reason, it will show up correctly here. Let me go ahead and click here. And you can see that it is coming into me in a weird shape. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Okay. I'm just going to project this view. So I'll project here, select this view, bring it down to here, hit enter. Sorry, do a right click and hit create. And then I'm going to come back to the base again, or project it, sorry. I'll go back to project it, select this view, and then I'll place it up here. Right click, create. And let's go ahead and delete this view now. So I'll select it and hit delete on my keyboard. Tell it yes, you want to delete that view. Okay. We can shrink this one down if you double click on this little red border that's going around it. So let's go ahead and make this a little bit smaller. I'm just going to drag it directly here in the screen and move it up here in the corner. All right, so sections in this program is really easy. So I'll use a section. First thing I need to do is go ahead and select the view. If you're looking for the command line here in Inventor, it's going to be all the way here at the bottom left. So I'll select my view. Then I'm just going to touch this center. I'm just going to track out to here, do a left click, go straight across to where I'm about the same even distance with the other one. I'll do a left click here, then do a right click, hit continue, come down. It seems like my computer is running a little slow. There it is, come down. I'll do a left click here. And there's that view that we were trying to create, right? All right, so like I was saying, really simple to use or simple to do. We can control some of this other stuff in here just like we do in AutoCAD. I think in AutoCAD we had to manually do it, and when we did the 3D portion, there were some things that we could do to adjust this line here. We can do the exact same thing in here. Let's go ahead and I should be able to right click on it and then tell it show entire line. If I uncheck that, you will get the breaks just like we shown in AutoCAD, right? I'll just do a few more things to this. This one is really simple to dimension, but I'll go ahead and put the center marks on here. So I'll just jump to the annotation, and then I want to find my center marks. Here's my pluses. Just going to select here and here, and let me maybe select here to get the center part on this one. And then with the center lines, I'll use the bisecting one here. And once again, this is just like we did in AutoCAD. The exact same steps, right? Okay, so I'll go ahead and let you go ahead and figure out how to put the dimensions on. It's really simple in this program to do. Or if you refer back to my last Inventor tutorial, I actually did put the dimensions on. And there's something weird that is happening with mine, is mainly because my diameter dimension, something is going wrong with it for some strange reason. Oh, it looks like it's showing up today. I'll do one more dimension to see if it's gonna actually do something wrong. But oh, okay, it looks like it is fixed. I know before I was playing around with how to fix these dimensions. My diameter dimensions wasn't actually showing up, but it seems to be corrected now. But anyway, you can go ahead and put the rest of the dimensions on here. This was a really simple and easy little project to do. We're going to start adding a little bit more assemblies and things of that nature so you can get more familiar with doing some constraints. So if that's something that you're interested, go ahead and stick around, and I have some other things planned in the upcoming week. So Thank you for watching, and I do appreciate everyone who is tuning in, and thank you to the people that are subscribing and continuing to watch this. All right. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.